Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In blackest day and brightest night, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like his power, Sinestro's might. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Sinestro Corps podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, that's
everyone.
That master of all corps. All right, kids, that's right. We're here. We're already at the end of the Sinestro Corps War. Couple issues, big info dump,
and it has been massive. I don't. It's hard, I think, for people that weren't buying comics when this came out to understand just how big a deal it was.
Oh, yeah, if you get a collection now, it's just like, oh, yeah, it's just like a book. But, no.
It was, I mean, Rebirth was Rebirth was kind of a big deal. It was kind of, I think it surprised a lot of people about how well it sold and how well it did and how good it was. But then, for, a little under 2 years, Green Lantern was just doing its thing, right? And Green Lantern Corps. But this was seismic. I mean, it was a big deal. It really seemed, in my mind, it really cemented the Green Lantern corner of the DC universe as, the place to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because sales, I mean, once this title ends, well, first off, we got, after Brightest Day, we get Emerald Warriors. When New 52 starts, we get a Red Lantern series. There's a Sinestro series. There's a Larfleeze series. There's Green Lantern New Guardian series. I mean, there's just so much that comes out of this, and Sinestro Corps, I think, just kind of made all that possible.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, look at this era. I mean, not only, like, on DC side, but the Marvel side, too. Like, I swear, like, the cosmic side of both companies had kind of, like, really, for like, at least the first half of the 2000s, this decade is just hardly anything. Now we're getting, like, a big bang again, or it's just, like, we're rebuilding the cosmic side of things.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's epic, it's big, it's just darn good.
All right, well, enough of the, I was gonna say, should we get into this? But, not this week, but next week, I guess Green Lantern number 3 comes up.
You said Oa.
Oh,
sorry. Yes, you're right. Green Lantern number 3 does come out.
Yes, next week.
In fact, I think on Twitter, Jeremy Adams was kind of showing some unboxing of copies.
I did see that, yeah.
Which is cool. Very cool.
I know. He has kids. I'm like, how awesome would that be? Your dad's like the writer on a comic book. Be like, hey, look, get home early. Kids probably don't appreciate.
You get to read it first.
Kids probably don't appreciate what they have.
Oh, it's just that stupid Green Lantern that Dad does. Whatever.
All right. So I believe, yes, the first part tonight is Green Lantern Corps number 18. From January 2008, the Sinestro Corps War Part 10, Hammer to Fall. Writer Peter Tomasi, penciler. Is this the first Peter Tomasi issue we got? Because wasn't it Dave Gibbons?
I think so. Hang on, let me check.
Oh.
Let's see.
All right, yeah, look that up. Penciler Patrick Gleason and Jamal Eagle. Inker Jerry Ordway and Prentice Rollins. Colorist Guy Major. Letterer Steve Wands. And editors Adam Schlauman and Eddie Berganza. So I thought at least last episode, I thought Dave Gibbons was writing the Green Lantern Corps book.
He did. Let's see. 16 is by Dave Gibbons.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can find 17 in here.
Because I'm trying to remember, because Peter Tomasi might take over the book, so I wonder. That's weird, though.
I think that's,
take over the middle of a crossover. Although it is the January 2008 issue, unless they were just like, oh, you're taking over starting in 2008. I don't know.
Okay, so 17. Yeah, Green Lantern Corps 17 is by Dave Gibbons as well. So, yeah, 18 would be the...
That's what I'm thinking. The only thing I can think of is maybe it was just, oh, yeah, Tomasi's taking over in 2008, and this is the January 2008 issue, so...
maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
All
But
right.
Good catch. I had not noticed that.
Sodom Yat, now merged with the Ion entity, battles Superboy-Prime across the city of New York. Their battle takes them to a bridge near the Hudson River. As they go underwater, Sodom instinctively uses heat vision on Prime, something he's never done before. Prime responds in kind, and in short order, the water in the area has quickly evaporated, as Sodom thinks back to his past. As a child, Sodom Yat was interested in outer space. Daxam was intensely xenophobic, and his father was as well. During a meteor shower, Sodom sees a space cruiser where some of it crashes into a nearby mountain. His father, seeing what he's doing, calmly explains that Daxam is all the universe he will need, takes the lenses of his telescope, and breaks it. Superboy-Prime punches Sodom into the Indian Point nuclear power plant. Sodom begins to feel sick as there is lead everywhere. Prime impales him with a uranium rod, which Sodom shoves into Prime's mouth. Prime instead chews and swallows the uranium, then throws it at a fleeing Sodom, who again thinks of his past. I mean, again, I know we want to show how powered Superboy-Prime is, but he's eating uranium. Spicy. After the meteor shower, Sodom headed to the crash site. Instead of a rock, he finds a wrecked starship and a pilot named Tessog. He takes Tessog to a cave, and over the weeks, they begin to teach each other about the other, despite not speaking the same language. Sodom knew that it was a path he could never turn back on. As the rod again spears Sodom Yat, Superboy-Prime crashes him into a cemetery in the Bronx. Prime enjoys the sight of the corpses being unburied by their battle and carves 2 tombstones, one for Sodom Yat, one for Earth. As Sodom corners him against the wall with one of the tombstones, Prime hits him with the force of a sonic boom, triggering the most painful flashback. As Sodom heads to Tessog's cave, he finds that Tessog is gone and everything is missing. Suddenly, he's struck unconscious by electrically charged whips. His next experience is Tessog's people massacring Daxamites, killing Sodom Yat's parents. As Sodom curses the aliens, it is revealed that his parents had Sodom brainwashed into seeing the images to develop xenophobia. In the cemetery, and on this planet we call it Fox News.
We do.
In the cemetery, Sodom Yat is becoming weaker and weaker. Yat begins to fear that Prime is going to defeat him as his final flashback occurs. On a trip to a museum with his class, Sodom Yat is shown various images of what would happen if aliens were allowed to land on Daxam. Suddenly, one exhibit catches Sodom's attention. Tessog's stuffed corpse on display, threatening a Daxamite. Remembering everything, Sodom spends the next several years putting on an image for his parents and fellow Daxamites, while using what is left of Tessog's ship to build his own vessel. When his ship is ready for launch, a voice tells him that he has the courage to overcome great fear, and a Green Lantern ring slips onto his finger. Sodom Yat is now a member of the Green Lantern Corps. Sodom Yat has been taken to his limit and beyond. Unable to stand or see, he finally slips into unconsciousness. Holding Sodom's injured, probably dying body, Superboy-Prime asks Jon Stewart and Guy Gardner which of them would like to be next. So.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm sure Will knows this, but the Daxamite xenophobia was a major part of Andromeda's backstory in the Legion of Superheroes continuity, including her membership in the White Triangle group.
I maybe knew a little... that may have predated me a little bit, because I think it was like on the relaunch, or right before the relaunch, so I'm not sure, but it's cool. Yeah, Daxam, Mon-El is a Daxamite as well. And I think I've probably mentioned this, but I remember specifically being in the car riding with my wife and the boys when they were young. And we were talking about Green Lantern. I'm like, yeah, there's the ultimate Green Lantern, Sodom Yat. He's got a Green Lantern ring, plus he's a Daxamite. And of course, the boys, because they're informed, they're like, yeah, Daxamites, they're like Kryptonians, except they're susceptible to lead. And without missing a beat, my wife says, "Oh, so you could take him out with a number 2 pencil." Yep.
Or
anyway,
or Alan Scott.
Alan Scott, yeah. Exactly.
Oh no, you could take out every Green Lantern with a number 2 pencil. Not only is it yellow, but it's wood. Yes,
it's yellow and wood and lead. So there you go. The pencil is mightier than the ring.
There's another note here. It's so funny because it's like, yeah, the Daxamites are so like xenophobic, but meanwhile they're like, yeah, you could see like a Dominator in the museum, and it's like, yeah, remember when they had an alliance with the Dominators during Invasion? It's like, oh yeah, we hate all aliens, but yeah, we're gonna
team up.
We're gonna team up
with
some of the most evil ones in the galaxy. Yeah.
Yep. Now there.
What?
Was that in the Legion where they moved Daxam into a yellow sun? Legion of Three Worlds? Was that what it was?
Oh, maybe. You're the Legion expert. Why are you asking me?
Because I don't remember. I think that was part of the plot, because they mind controlled all of the Daxamites, which.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a whole yellow sun. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, when did they first come up with the Daxamites? Was that
they were first? That would be with Mon-El back in like the early '60s, because he was and then he had lead poisoning and was in the Phantom Zone for 1,000 years until he popped out.
Oh yeah, then Superboy put him in the Phantom Zone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I remember. Yeah. Okay. All right, should we get to the next part? 'Cause I know.
Let's go.
Something we know is gonna have a big part in the next part here, kids. You know what he's chomping for, kids.
I of course love Hal Jordan.
Of course.
All right, Green Lantern number 25 from January 2008, Sinestro Corps Part 11, Birth of the Black Lantern, which we'll see at the end of this issue. Outside of Coast City, let me start over. On Earth, the war between the Green Lantern Corps and the Sinestro Corps rages. Though augmented by Earth's superheroes, the Lanterns are hard-pressed due to the Anti-Monitor and Superboy-Prime. Outside of Coast City, Ganthet and Sade discuss the situation with Earth's Green Lanterns. However, they will not be assisting in the battle, because they're Guardians, as they are exiles and seek to prevent the final verse from unfolding.
That's fair.
Yeah. John recognizes that they're talking about the Blackest Night, saying that Tomar Ray mentioned it to him. Ganthet tells the humans what the prophecy will entail, which will see the rise of the 7 Lantern Corps, each fueled by one color, the emotional spectrum of the universe: rage, greed, fear, will, hope, compassion, and love. The 7 Corps will go to war with each other, and as the War of Light intensifies, it will herald the coming of the Blackest Night, where the universe will become a place without life. Hal asks how to stop it, but Ganthet and Sade are unaware. However, they tell the humans that they will be waiting with a backup plan, and as they depart, ask the Earth Lanterns to do as they have always done, follow their hearts. As Guy Gardner and John Stewart head to New York, Hal Jordan and Kyle Rayner head to Jim Jordan's apartment. Accessing the television with his ring, Hal issues a request for the people of Coast City to evacuate. Jim says that running away is what he's done all his life, but it's never been what Hal has done, and he's going to stay. Susan and the kids also refuse to leave. Cal then informs Hal that the lights of the city have begun to turn green in a show of support. Hal then receives a message from Hanu informing them that despite their past, Hal stood with the Lost Lanterns on Quard, and they are coming to return the favor by defending Coast City. Emboldened, Hal and Kyle head to space to battle Sinestro. In New York City, the Green Lanterns and heroes are starting to lose ground due to the Anti-Monitor consuming positive matter from Earth and converting it into antimatter. Lanterns, civilians, and Sinestros alike are caught in the waves, and the heroes and Lanterns are forced to begin retreating. During the retreat, Guy begins to falter and coughs up yellow blood. Suddenly, voices cry out the Anti-Monitor's crimes against them and the worlds he destroyed. Furious that they had been imprisoned and rendered non-factors during the first crisis, the Guardians of the Universe attacked the Anti-Monitor with full force. Well, it only took them 1 billion years to do something. Literally.
Yeah.
The Guardians are able to pierce the Anti-Monitor's armor, but they are only equal to him as a united front, and the Anti-Monitor grabs a female Guardian and seriously burns her with his touch.
That would be Scar.
Yes. John tries to take Guy to Sornik not to, but Guy wants to go down fighting. Suddenly realizes a perfect weapon to use against the Anti-Monitor. World with its yellow power battery. Above Coast City, Sinestro finds it ironic that Hal has accepted the devotion he once received on Korrigar. Hal counters that the difference between them is that Hal earned it, while Sinestro demanded it. Lara, however, demands vengeance for Kihon's death and begins cutting through the Sinestros with wild abandon. As the Green Lanterns begin using their rings to kill the Sinestro Corps members, Amon Sur becomes terrified and flees, while Sinestro claims he's already won. Kyle sees his smile, and Hal realizes that this is what Sinestro wanted all along. The whole point of the war, here we go kids, the whole point of the war was to get the Guardians to allow the Green Lanterns to use lethal force against their enemies. Sinestro confirms this, saying that despite everything that has happened, he still supports the idea of the Green Lantern Corps policing the universe, but felt that they always lacked the proper aggression to deal with chaos. Now the Green Lanterns will become feared throughout the universe, and the universe will ultimately benefit from this. He also uses manhunters to drain Hal and Kyle's rings dry, forcing them to land back at Coast City. In New York, Kilowog orders the Green Lanterns to regroup and leave the Sinestros to the superheroes. Salak has some concerns about Guy's plan. Specifically, detonating the yellow battery could destroy the galaxy, but the Guardians appear to approve, keeping the Anti-Monitor occupied. Guy and John wrap Owen energy chains around World and hurl right in front of the Anti-Monitor. The Green Lanterns then throw a force field to contain the explosion and keep Hank Henshaw and the Anti-Monitor within the blast radius. As Henshaw thanks the Lanterns for ending his life, World explodes, and both the Anti-Monitor and Henshaw are caught in the blast. Without Henshaw to guide them, the Manhunters begin to shut down, meaning the Sinestro Corps members can no longer recharge their rings from a remote location. The Anti-Monitor is still alive but injured. As he tries to resume his attack, Superboy-Prime attacks it. He's such a wild dog. He's
just nuts. Yeah.
A dog with rabies. Always, Having intended to kill him when the war was over for destroying Earth Prime, then throws him deep into space. Both corps and the heroes try to restrain him, but only Superman and Power Girl are able to hold their own, and even barely. The Guardians turn their attention toward him, saying he caused enough destruction to last even their lifetimes. As Superboy-Prime grabs one, the Guardian converts himself into a living bomb of Owen energy, sacrificing himself to kill Prime. Superboy-Prime is consumed in the explosion, and no trace of him is left. With Guy unable to stand, John takes him to Natu, who realizes he's been infected with Despotilus, the sentient disease that killed Kyle Rayner's mother. She injects Guy with Liesel Pawn, who attacks Despotilus cells, curing Guy. At Coast City, Hal uses a Manhunter head to drain Sinestro's ring. Sinestro then fights the two humans on even terms, jumping from building to building, taunting Hal with what his father's final words may have been. But Hal doesn't care about his words. Martin Jordan's actions prove that he died without fear. Cal then shouts that they aren't afraid of Sinestro, but he reminds them that everything that lives knows fear. Hal reminds Sinestro that the Green Lanterns aren't without fear, they overcome it. Finally subduing Sinestro, Hal places him under arrest. Deprived of their leaders and power battery, the Sinestro Corps retreats. The next day, the Earth Lanterns are having lunch with the Jordans while Hal and John discuss the lethal force law. Hal admits that he isn't totally against it, but fears what it may lead to. John says that it's going to have to be up to the Lanterns to decide that. On the news, reports are documenting the Green Lantern Corps' assistance in cleanup of the damage done to the various cities targeted. It is also announced that Coast City was the only targeted city that didn't evacuate its populace. What's more, new residents are moving in, and the media hails Coast City as the city without fear. On Oa, the Guardians discuss what has happened to the Sinestro Corps leaders and reveal that Superboy-Prime was ripped apart at a molecular level, meaning if he survived, he is in another part of the multiverse. While Sinestro... Not our problem.
Yeah.
While Sinestro and Parallax are imprisoned, and the Anti-Monitor, Superboy-Prime, and Henshaw most likely dead, the rest of the Sinestro Corps is yet to be accounted for. The Guardians also debate on whether or not to initiate the second of the new laws, while Sinestro, in his cell, smiles. In space, the Manhunters recover Henshaw's head and manage to revive him as a tear runs down his cheek. On another planet, Ganthet and Sade know that the Guardians will be made overconfident by the victory, but they know that the Green Lanterns of Earth will do everything in their power to prevent the Blackest Night from occurring. Knowing that they must help, Ganthet and Sade decide that they will do more than just hope. They will make hope their weapon and the power of the Blue Lantern Corps. On an unnamed planet, the shriveled body of the Anti-Monitor crashes, and a mysterious voice commands him to rise. Too weak to resist, he screams in horror as a prison forms around him, in the form of a Black Lantern power battery.
Indeed.
So nothing happened here.
No, nothing at all. So we get a lot, and I don't know if I've mentioned it, but maybe a lot of information in this issue. I mean, we find out.
Well, that's why we had. We're going to get to a Secret Files and Origins. We really need more than any other DC book ever. It needed a Secret Files and Origins book.
But Ganthet, Saeed give them the lowdown on the Blackest Night prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "Hey, there's seven colors, and then there's the Blackest Night. We don't know what that means, but we get Rage. We get all of them named, right? So we get Rage, we get Greed, we already know about Fear, of course, Spell Power. Then we get Hope, Compassion, and Love on the other side, and then the Anti-Monitor gets trapped in a giant freaking black central power battery.
Birth of the Black Lantern, kids."
Pretty freaking awesome when you think about it. But yeah, this was quite a finish. I mean, you had Sinestro fighting physically, both Kyle and Hal. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean they're fist fighting on a roof. Yeah.
Guy. Hang on, I want you to let that sink in for a second. Guy Gardner came up with the plan to defeat the Anti-Monitor, and it worked.
Yes, but that is Guy's strength. Let's use blunt force and blow him up.
In this case, it worked. So yeah, I mean, I think really everybody had.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kyle, Hal, and Guy got some really good moments. John, I don't think got as many cool moments as the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, since Rebirth, after Rebirth, I don't think they've really given John a lot to do.
No. And I think it's his turn in the spotlight is going to come when he transitions over to the core book.
Yeah.
Because then he gets a lot more screen time as opposed to being in the main Green Lantern book, which is, after we have a short, 3-issue arc, we get 7 issues of Secret Origin, which is
a flashback.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I mean, I think it works, and I'd be curious to see what you think. But we've started the march to Blackest Night, right? Yeah. This issue laid out lots of stuff and what's going to happen. But then for 7 months, this book doesn't really deal with the Blackest Night. I mean, sure it does, because it plants some seeds in Secret Origin, with Atrocitus and Abin Sur and all of those things. So it's planting some seeds that are going to come to fruition in the book post Secret Origin.
Mm.
But really, the march to Blackest Night happens a lot more in the core book, in Green Lantern Corps, because the main Green Lantern title is spending so much of its time in the past with Secret Origin. I mean, and I think that works. I hope that they chose to do that for a lot of really good reasons. Like, we're going to build it up, but hey, we've started. Now we're going to tease it more in the main book, and you're going to have to go over to Green Lantern Corps to get, whatever else is happening. Because there's like a Sins of the Star Sapphire arc, I think, in Green Lantern Corps, and I can't remember what else.
Well, and again, I mean, most of it's taking place like out in space anyway, and that the regular Green Lantern book's been on Earth for a lot of since Rebirth, yeah. But
what do you think? I mean, do you think that worked, or?
Yeah, I think it worked. I mean, again, it's been a while since I read some of these. I'm be interested in the reread, and I'll let you know. My thoughts change. But from what I remember, I think it worked.
Yeah, I think so. And it's, I mean, it's an interesting tack to take. I think hey, all this is coming. We're gonna spend over half of the next year in the past. By the way,
yeah. And again, too, maybe it was just pacing too, and they were like, we don't want to we don't want to show all of our cards before Blackest Night officially starts and stuff. So,
and I don't know who. Maybe it was Jeff Johns. Maybe it was just somebody in marketing. Maybe it was editorial. I don't know who came up with it, but whoever you are, sir or madam, I salute you, because bringing back canceled titles as a zombie title during Blackest Night is freaking genius, okay? I mean, it's just genius. I salute you. Bravo, bravo. Whoever you are.
I know. I was going to say, well, it's probably not even there anymore. But the thing about this issue, I love, basically, I guess the Lost Lanterns are starting to forgive Hal. It's like, okay, you stood with us on Cord. We'll help you with Coast City. I was like, okay, even if you still despised Hal Jordan, aren't Green Lanterns supposed to save innocent life? I mean, if nothing else, they should have been like, you know what? We still hate your freaking guts, but there's innocent lives at stake, so we'll help you.
But they should also, I mean, the way they treat Hal should also transfer to them treating Kyle the same way, because Kyle killed one of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jack T. Chance. As Parallax. Now, it wasn't him, it's Parallax, but I don't know. It's, and I forget what happens with a lot of the Lost Lanterns.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out here soon. Some of them, don't some become Alpha Lanterns?
I think Boudica,
she does.
Becomes
I know
a lot,
yeah.
So, I mean, we get the, that's actually the next arc, right? The Rise of the Alpha Lanterns?
I think, I was going to say, if not next episode, it might be the one after. Yeah, cause it's the next arc in the regular Green Lantern book, yeah.
Yep. And then we get Secret Origin, which is, I think you said seven issues long?
I think, something like that. Yeah, because I think that runs right into Blackest Night, so.
Cool. Very cool.
Oh, yeah, it's a long one, because I think, I'm trying to remember. We might, I think I might actually split up Secret Origin into 2 parts, maybe.
Gotcha. That's good, because I've watched a couple of things on YouTube on Secret Origin, and I have not read it since I originally read it.
Oh, really?
So I'm looking forward to diving back into that.
I find that interesting that you haven't read that in
years.
I thought that'd be another one of your, since it's a Hal Jordan centric story, that'd be another one of your yearly rituals.
Rebirth just has so many great moments in it, and it was a return of Hal Jordan after a decade of him being not Hal Jordan, if that makes sense. So and it just has some great, it has so many great moments in it. It's got some great Kyle moments in it too. It starts out with Kyle, don't be afraid, and then we get Hal coming back, and then Sinestro punching him across the moon, and him just grinning like an idiot. I mean, it's awesome.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that moment. Yeah, when he just back checks how much is in the tank, and just like
lets it go. Yeah, and then probably my favorite bit would be when Parallax tells him to give up. And he goes, I don't know how, and he just keeps going. I mean, it's got so many great moments in it that that's the book I keep coming back to. Now, I may read Secret Origin and go, holy crap, I forgot how awesome this was, and it may get added into the yearly rotation. I don't know. We'll see.
I was gonna say, should we move on? Because we have like
we've got at least two more issues.
And there's a damn Secret Files and Origins. Jeez. All right. So yes, the final tale of the Sinestro Corps, Ion #1, from January 2008. The Ultimate Lantern. Oh, and then who wrote this, kids? Of course, friend of the show.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Penciler and inker Michael Lacombe, colorist Jeremy Cox, letterer John J. Hill, and editors Adam Schlauman and Abraganza. All right. Kyle Rayner addresses the Guardians and questions them about their recent actions during the Sinestro Corps War. They tell Kyle that he was only intended as a temporary host for the Ion entity, and now they have selected a new torchbearer, the Daxamite Sodom Yat. They ask Kyle to give Sodom some advice on how to handle the power. Kyle finds Sodom and the two discuss their varying beliefs on how to handle the Ion power. Suddenly, Kyle's... Here we go again. Suddenly, Suddenly, Kyle's old nemesis, Alexander Nero, appears and a fight breaks out. Sodom uses the Ion energy to convert Nero's yellow energy to defeat him. As the fight concludes, Kyle flies off to meet with Hal, Guy, and John. He tells them that he is now a Green Lantern once again. Further, he is a member of the Honor Guard and is partnered with Guy Gardner.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was interesting that Mr. Ron Mars used Nero.
Yes.
As kind of, I mean, it makes sense, and I'm sure that's why he used him. But Nero wasn't one of his additions, to Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Like the probably, I think, better villain that he created for Kyle.
Yeah. Effigy.
Mm-hmm. Effigy seems to fit more as opposed to Nero. Mm-hmm. But Nero makes a lot more sense in the context of he has a so.
Yeah, I don't know if Ron Mars liked him better because he used Nero in the Ion series too.
Yep, he did. Mm-hmm.
He mentions here.
Mm-hmm.
They made me beat you. Yeah. So what did you think about that? As Kyle's a regular Lantern again, and now he's partnered up with Guy Gardner.
I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, I get that they are redesigning his costume again.
Oh, yeah.
But I really wish they would just go back to his original.
I mean, they do eventually. I forget how long.
Eventually, yeah. It takes them a while, but yeah. I mean, it just... First off, we've talked about his Ion costume.
Yeah.
And then, this one is a kind of a move back toward his original. And it looks fine. It's just not his original. I think his original looks best. And I say that as a Hal fan. And now, as a Kyle fan, what do you think?
Oh, I love the original. The original's my favorite. Yeah. No, I agree with you there. Yeah, there's no topping that Daryl Banks original costume. Yeah.
Yep. I agree.
I thought I had another thought, but it's gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
I'm sure it wasn't important. It's probably just,
Yeah.
Delightful thing that now we're going to be deprived of, for all eternity.
or until we end the episode, we log off, and I'll be, damn, that's what I wanted to say. All right, so should we get to the Green Lantern, the next Green Lantern Corps issue?
Green Lantern Corps number 19.
Did you notice the cover to this and the Secret Files and Origins, like Kyle and Hal are in kind of similar poses on the covers?
No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I mean, it's different artists, but yeah, like Kyle and Hal are kind of in similar poses.
Interesting. I'll have to double check that.
Well, so Green Lantern Corps number 19, February 2008, Liberty's Light. And again, I believe the new regular writer, Peter Tomasi, penciler Patrick Gleason. Your 6 inkers, Prentice Rollins, Derek Fridolfs, Tom Guyan, Drew Garassi, Dan Davis, and Rebecca Bauman. And your 3 colorists, David Curiel, J.D. Smith, and Guy Major. Letterer Phil Balsman, and editors Adam Schlauman and Abraganza. All right.
Nice.
On there's I love it's like there's 6 inkers on this regular sized issue, but there was only one inker on the Green Lantern 25, which was oversized. Deadlines.
Yep.
On Oa, Salak was overseeing the creation of 442 new Green Lantern rings. Once the first 12 are complete, he directs them to Mogo, who will guide them in their search for new Green Lanterns. Seeing them leave, Salak notes that far too many died this time. On Iranian outpost, Fath Sarn is in a bar with his girlfriend, honoring the fallen lanterns in his own way, making an image of them with his ring and taking a drink to salute them. His girlfriend doesn't understand why, but it's something Vath insists on doing. Meanwhile, Izamat Cole returns to Thanagar and lands in the ocean. Rising to the surface, he cries out to the Sinestro Corps that he is still here and won't be going anywhere soon. On Betrasis, a bored Princess Ioland receives a report that there is an assault going on in the capital city. Changing to her uniform, Ioland is stopped by advisor Genal, who reminds her that she has duties as Princess of Betrasis, and that they have their own security force to deal with the disturbance. On Oa, Sornik Natu is working with an injured rookie lantern who lost his arm in the war. She attaches a device that creates an arm made of Owen energy, similar to Boudicca's new arm. However, the arm would fade if the user was 2 parsecs out of Oa. It doesn't matter to the patient as long as he can still be a Green Lantern, which he can. On Mogo, Kilowog enjoys a meal with energy constructs of his deceased family, and they plan to go fishing the next day. On Earth, Kal Rayner and Guy Gardner have finished repairs to the Statue of Liberty. With the casualties endured from the war, Guy admits that aging is actually a better privilege than he thought. Guy also asks what it was like having Parallax inside of him. Kal doesn't really remember anything concrete about the event, just random snippets like a phantom pain. There's one thing he remembers all too clearly, however, the death of Jack T. Chance. Guy tells Kal to give himself a break. Not only did he help save Coast City, he helped save Earth and probably the universe as well. Guy also tells Kal that it's good to have him back. Flying into Manhattan, Guy reunites with Ice, giving her a kiss a la V.E. Ice, however, says that she still needs time to adjust to returning to life, and that picking up right where she and Guy left off might not be the best idea. Guy agrees and suggests they meet for a date in 1 month. In Sector 2809, Stell and Green Man pursue a Sinestro who escapes in a ship, crashing to Debstam 4. In Sector 2811, barely alive, someone discovers the Sinestro and quickly snaps his neck. As his yellow As his yellow power ring initiates a sector scan for a new member, it quickly settles on the dead Sinestro's murderer, Mongol. That's the ring picked a yellow alien. That's kind of on the nose, don't you think?
That's pretty much on the nose. Yeah, very on the nose.
You helped destroy a whole city and killed millions of people. I think you can inspire great fear.
That sounds like it works for me. I really liked how we got little vignettes of whatever, our major players are doing after the war, right? And how they are dealing with the repercussions of everything. It was a nice little issue. It's a really kind of a cool issue for Tomasi to begin his run on the book, because he's associated with it for quite some time after this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is weird. Okay, this issue is reprinted in Green Lantern Corps Ring Quest, although it's slightly altered. Like the scene of Guy and Kal repairing the Statue of Liberty is moved from the beginning of the issue to the end. Additionally, the following scenes are omitted: when Guy reconnects with Ice, when Kal considers whether to accept the job at the Hayden Planetarium, Guy Gardner throwing darts at a map to decide where to go next, and Mongol accepting the yellow ring. So in that collection, they admitted all that.
They may have admitted it in this collection too. I didn't remember seeing that.
Oh yeah?
I wonder why. Yeah, there's some added stuff with some sketches and covers and alternate covers in the back of the hardcover. But
did you see the stuff with Guy and Ice?
Nope, not in here.
Okay, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
I wonder if it's in the omnibus.
Ew.
Let's check, shall we?
But why? I don't know why you would cut some of that stuff out, though. I mean,
I don't know either.
For page count, maybe? I don't know.
But I mean, we're talking what, maybe 5, 6, 8 pages. It's not a tremendous amount. All right, so we want. All right, big old page with a Black Lantern on it. Okay, no, yep, here it's got the ice pages.
Okay.
Yep, that's like 3 pages.
Yeah, something like that.
And then what was the...
Cal considers whether to accept a job at the planetarium.
Oh, yep, that's 2 pages.
Yeah.
And then guys throwing darts, that's another page.
Yeah, and then the thing with Mongol at the end.
Yep, those are completely gone. Yep, they weren't in that hardcover collection.
What, the Mongol
Cool.
stuff?
Yep, none of those pages that you mentioned were in individual hardcover, but they are in the omnibus. But strangely enough, the omnibus is missing issues 4, 5, and 6. I think we mentioned it last time, which I'm not quite sure what's up with that. But good call. I did not realize that those pages were not in there.
So depending on where you read this, kids, I know on the original floppies, all that stuff was in there, of course. On the DC Universe Infinite app, those pages are on there, so...
Okay.
So yeah.
But they are not in Green Lantern Corps or Green Lantern the Sinestro Corps War Volume 2 hardcover.
So
for some strange reason.
Certain,
don't know why.
Certain collections, kids, you might not get the full story.
That is correct.
All right. Is there anything we want to mention about that Secret Files and Origins? Because again, most of it's an info dump on lanterns and...
It is a beast, and I love it dearly.
There's only one, yeah, I know. There's only one story, and it's about that what's that lantern's name, Morrow.
Yeah,
who basically just like keeps track of the dead and basically runs the crypt. Yeah,
it's so dense. It's got so much information about
lanterns and sectors,
individual lanterns, the sectors, all of that. I mean,
Sinestro Corps.
Yep. It even has a 2-page spread on the emotional spectrum and what the different colors are. I mean, there's so many lanterns, and then it's got a double-page spread, I think, of lanterns that have fallen, with that Morrow in it too. There's a lot of text. It's very text heavy because each of them have their own little blurbs and everything, and then the main lanterns get full pages. I think Hal and Kyle and Guy and John all get full pages. Sinestro gets a full page because he's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but yeah, that if you can find a copy of it,
you know what it is on the app too, kids. So
if you can find a copy of it, buy it. If it's on the app and you want to read it on the app, it is so info dump dense.
Yeah.
On just Green Lantern, everything up to that point with Green Lantern from Rebirth, as well as laying some seeds for what's to come with Blackest Night and everything after. So it's a great issue.
I mean, okay, it says here the first appearance of DKRTZY RRR. It's his first like a regular appearance. He was first mentioned in Green Lantern 188.
Yeah, and there's a lot of lanterns that appeared back in Volume 2 that get little blurbs. There's an entry for Abin Sur, there's an entry for Tomar Ray. I mean, Oh,
I forgot. I think they might have appeared real briefly during that. I don't know if it was Green Lantern 25 or one of the core issues. That Green Lantern from Apocalypse, remember that cow annual we covered?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he has a new partner, but yeah, he's finally off Apocalypse. Yeah,
that's right. I remember reading that because his partner, she says, "Yeah, we're my partner and I are from Apocalypse. We don't give up, right?"
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I thought. I mean, there's a lot of GL knowledge in there that just makes my geek heart happy. So.
Oh, did you? Did it? I don't know if it did. I don't know if it said in this issue, but here it says several of the Sinestro Corps members are named after writers and artists.
No, I didn't. I don't remember reading that.
Like Skyvor is for Ethan Von Skyver.
Oh.
There's like Sitag Retz, which is Sterling Gates. Bergunza is Eddie Berganza. Shalag Man, there was Adam Schlagman.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then it says in his profile, Green Man is said to be the same character as Green Man of the Omega Men, but that character died during the Invasion arc.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so unless someone just forgot or
Superboy-Prime punching the wall.
Well, maybe
Nice.
Again, it's comics. He got resurrected somewhere along. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, kids. I mean, yeah, info dumpy. I mean, rings, character. Oh yeah, we even got what? It was at least a page or two of Hal Jordan's friends. You know, Carol, Cowgirl, Star Sapphire. Yeah.
I like how they said that a ring carries a finite charge, which typically lasts 24 hours. It kind of made a callback to the 24-hour quote unquote limit, but I still love the gas tank model. It just makes so much more sense. It really does.
I mean, you could have your cake and eat it too and say, you know what, if you used your ring nonstop, it would last 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's where we get that old limit when it's actually just. But if you don't use it in nonstop, then it's going to last more than 24 hours. So there you go.
All right, Will. So since we're at the end here, I mean, what are your thoughts? Your final thoughts on Sinestro Corps War?
It really was kind of a seismic shift, I think, for DC, and it cemented Green Lantern as their top tier books. It really, really did. And as good as both Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps were before and during Sinestro Corps War, they would continue to get better. And it's amazing it's amazing what they were able to accomplish with this. It's just another crossover. No, this was not another crossover. This was born out of everything that was set up and happening in Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps, and pays off a lot of things in the Sinestro Corps War. So it's personally, and this may ruffle feathers, but I think it's better, it's tighter than Blackest Night. Don't get me wrong, Blackest Night's good, but I think Sinestro Corps War is an achievement in and of itself, not just as a story on the way to Blackest Night.
Oh yeah, no, it pretty much builds that whole all the cores, the emotion, the spectrum, and everything. Yep. Yeah, which they still use to this day.
Yeah, which I mean, I know, and I have not read these. I know there are some things that happen New 52 time frame about the entities. The entities and the source wall, and it's finite and blah blah blah, some weird stuff. I would really like for the other cores to be back, even if you're not going to use them, just that they exist and other people could use them if they wanted to. I mean, I feel like the DC universe isn't as grand or as wide as it could be because we've removed some of these things based on some stories that happened 10 years ago at this point. So whether or not they're used, I like the DC universe better with all of the cores in it. At least that's my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, we're not too far from New 52. I mean, again, we're in January, February 2008, so 3 more years.
Yeah, I mean,
3 more years.
62, I think, or 67 is the final issue of this Green Lantern series.
Yeah, I think it might be 67, but yeah, I mean, we're already at 25, so.
There you go. We're 42 issues away. That's not going to take long for us.
No. Although...
And we get, 4 titles then at that point.
Oh yeah. It'll take a little longer for once to get through those. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So, like I said, some of that Red Lantern stuff I didn't read originally. Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, I only read the early ones. I know a lot of people just rave up and down about. I think it's Charles Soule's run.
I think so.
With Guy Gardner coming over. I really do want to read those. I'm looking forward to reading those.
All right, but yeah, I mean, again, we'll have some stuff along the way. Like next time, we're going to do those Brave and the Bold issues.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I mean, I've spoken at length on Sinestro Corps War. What's your take on the whole thing?
Like I said, I enjoyed it. Like I said, they did. This is something that built basically the whole Green Lantern, the modern Green Lantern universe. Just and it's something big. Like when Mark Waid created the Speed Force, it's something they still use to this day, and they're probably going to use until the end of time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, cool. Hey, we get to go back to being Green Lanterns next week.
Yes, exactly. All right, so next week, we'll cover some of the Brave and the Bold from this era. At least the issues with Hal Jordan. So Brave and the Bold 1 and 2, 19 through 22, and number 30. So you'll see team ups with several DC heroes. So we'll do some fun team ups next week, especially everyone's favorite
Batman, my favorite character.
So Australia will be happy. All right,
yep.
And then in 2 weeks we'll do Green Lantern Corps 20 through 22, and then Green Lantern Corps 23 through 26, and then we'll get the Green Lantern 26 through 28, which is the Alpha Lantern story.
Nice.
So we're gonna clear some Green Lantern Corps off the board before we get to Alpha Lanterns, and then another Green Lantern another Green Lantern Corps episode off the board before we get to the 2-week special on Secret Origins.
Nice.
All right, so
heck, that's going to take us through the end of October, right? How far is that in the future?
Hold on. Yeah, we're gonna be closing in here because. Sorry, I closed it. I just gotta open this back up. I mean, the Brave and the Bold stuff. That's for the last week of September, and then Secret Origin Part 1 will start the first week of November. So
wow, so the end of the year is fast approaching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we might actually start some Blackest Night by the end of the year. So
yep, absolutely. Well, cool, man.
All
excellent. Right. Sinestro Corps War.
Exactly.
2 thumbs way up.
Exactly. All right, so that's kids. So send us all your thoughts on all of the upcoming stuff. Again, Brave and the Bold next week. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Again, all of Lilith Hellfire's drunken rants on Heroes Reborn is up there. Since Lilith is on vacation, Tyler has agreed this month. Tyler and I will be doing a review of the 1999 movie Mystery Men.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah. So you never know what you're going to get there. So subscribe to the Patreon. Find everything at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. All right. Mr. Will Allred, master of all cores, master of the Quantum Zone, master of Kickstarter, podcasting, master of everything he sets his mind to. Mr. Will Allred, where can people find you and all things Will Allred?
You can find me at Walred. That's at Gmail and Facebook and Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Also on Blue Sky and other social media that I probably forgot I set up. But if you'd like to check out the comics that I write, you can do that at Crossover Division, crossoverdivision.com, and Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. Crossover Division number 5 should be coming to Kickstarter probably in November, is my hope. Ooh. So got to fulfill the hardcover, which I'm really looking forward to holding in my hands. 4-issue collected oversized hardcover. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Also, Phil and I are here every week in and out talking Green Lantern stuff, which is always fun. And obviously you have great taste because you're here listening to us, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
He goes limp in my grip. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
I love that. It's so long. Yes, that was written in a Marvel comic. That was a read-through.
Between the line and the delivery, yes, that's one of the best drops.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
And of course,
I of course love Hal Jordan.
Of course.
All right, kids, thank you for joining us, and remember, the Green Lantern Corps is in a much better place now, thanks to that brave Sinestro.
My hero.
Man, he'll go. He'll go to any lengths to prove a point. You know?
He will.
Was he right? Is he petty? Let us know. All right, kids, come back next time, and remember, keep your Superboy Primes on a leash. Good night.